Do you guys have the same tattoo?
The shades and everything.
Hey, Dillon, you have the same tat as him?
No, dude, I can't really hear you. How do I do this?
You gotta turn your volume. Turn your volume up on your phone. Oh no, you have to hit the speaker button. I think maybe.
Let's see. Can I hear you now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yo.
Kind of hard to hear you. Maybe should I put headphones?
AirPods might work. Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get headphones. I didn't realize I only have my phone. That's
Why do you guys have the same tattoo?
Top cheese. That's why.
So wait, should I get it then?
You should. Do you have any tattoos?
Well, it's haram, right, Andrew, to get tats?
Yeah, is it? A lot of things are haram.
True. Wait, but Andrew, in Islam and the Muslim culture, in the religion, is if you had tattoos, Andrew, if you had tattoos prior to conversion, right? Like it's okay, right?
Yeah, it's reversion, yes. And I'm not an Islamic scholar. I'm still learning along with everybody else. And I'm very careful about talking about the religion because I believe it's a beautiful religion. And I have a lot of respect for it. And I don't want to ever get anything wrong. But when you revert, all of your sins are forgiven.
Gotcha.
So, yes.
Yeah, Dillon, what's good?
This is not really working.
What the fuck is he wearing?
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, we're good. Well, I have no shirt on. Take your shirt off.
Okay.
Andrew, did you see me and him train or not?
I saw him on the ground crying.
I was trying to man him up, but it's pretty tough, to be honest.
Does he even try and fight back, or does he just like squirm like a little girl and stuff?
Nah.
Shut up!
Nah, he just squirms like a little girl.
Dude,
You did. You know you did.
You're out of my fucking weight class.
Actually, we might be the same weight, to be honest. I think, why are you putting your shirt back on? You feeling uncomfortable?
Because you make me feel insecure. I have to take a bathroom break. I'm gonna go pee. All right, you guys go ahead and catch up. Be right back.
So when's the fight, Dillon?
October 14th.
Chat. Let me know if there's
Now I'm
anything.
getting lawsuits up the ass, man. I don't know what to do. It's just bullshit. Court it every day.
It's called lawfare, bro. That's what they do. That's what this has always been the primary weapon of the Matrix, lawfare. They just attack you with lawsuits and they try and drain you financially and try and distract you. It's endless.
I think Logan doesn't want me to show up. I think that's where I'm at right now. I think he doesn't want to fight me. I think he's just trying to get me to pull out somehow so then he looks like the hero, you know? I don't know. It's bullshit. Because this is all going through him, you know? And even if I win the case, right, I still have to pay over $400,000 in just attorney fees, lawyer fees. So it's like just bullshit. When I'm promoting a fight, this is the biggest fight he's ever done or event he's ever done. And I made the whole event. Like, it's just bullshit, man.
Well, you did make the event interesting. I'll give you that. I have to be, you certainly made it interesting.
For jiu-jitsu, you got to be boxing. I have to do something. Come on. I mean, we're not going to talk about me and him boxing. We're both not boxers. Like, it has to be something else, you know?
And you chose an interesting topic. I'm trying to stay neutral because I'm in the middle of a judicial process. And I know. What I say, you know?
I know.
I can say that you've made it interesting. Let's put it that way.
No, I mean, I'm gonna say, I'll be honest. You did, Dillon.
But one thing I'll tell you, this would have never worked if it wasn't Logan, if he wasn't a scumbag, and if it wasn't true what was being, like, all the stuff I put out about his girl is real. Everything is real. And that's the only reason it works. And I never said anything about her. I never put, like, you're a whore, this or that. I just put pictures up, and I just let the people decide. So that's how it went. And, like, I think it would only work against Logan. Like, if I was talking about Dustin Poirier or something like that, or someone else, I don't think it would have worked, as, like, you know, the same way. So that's my opinion on it.
Dillon.
And I'm not getting any back end. So he's making all the money off this, and now he's trying to sue me. So, like, fuck him, man. So.
What do you think, Adin?
I'm saying, so if you're being sued up the ass, are you guys still gonna fight?
Yeah, we're supposed to, yeah, but, like, what's the point in this? Like, I'm getting another lawsuit every single day. I have to go to the gym. I got guys waiting at the gym trying to fucking serve me papers. I can't go to the gym. Now they doxed my fucking apartment, and I'm trying to get swatted all the time. Like, it's fucked up.
Welcome to the club. We've all been swatted. Me, Andrew, and you now. So, you know, welcome to the club.
I guess so. Yeah, it's just bullshit, bro. It's just fucking with the training, but you know, he's an easy fight, so I really don't mind.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's lawfare. It's endless. And I like to consider myself an arbitrator of truth. I like to consider myself a pretty fair guy. What you just said is pretty fair. You're presenting information without comment, and you're allowing people to come to their own conclusions.
And the only reason I'm getting more upset now at her and I'm going at her is because she's suing me, and she's suing me over trying to lie, saying I hacked her Snapchat in 2014 on an iPad. I'm like, the hell I don't even know who the hell you were in 2014. Like, it's all bullshit stories trying to make me look like a bad guy that hacked their stuff. Never hacked anybody's stuff. Those pictures are all easily found online, you know? Like, I could prove that everything was online already. So even though...
Chat, Dillon or Logan, who y'all got in the boxing match?
I still have to pay my attorney fees and my lawyer fees. This case can go on for 2-3 years. So, like, it's just bullshit, you know? I'd rather give that money to people or to the people that he scammed in that sense.
Yeah, that's how lawfare works. They attack you endlessly. And, I mean, Logan and I have had our disagreements in the past. That's certain. But,
I thought he was an entertainer, you know? I thought he would have understood the promotion side of this, you know? So I guess not. I guess he can't handle it. He's egotistical. He can't handle when he gets the fire put back on him and he can't control the narrative. He just sues. So just like a
Chris, yo, Dillon, later this week or next week, would you be down to do what I did with Fury and KSI? Would you and Logan be down to come into Discord together on my stream?
No, I don't know. I mean, sure. I don't mind doing that stuff with him. It's just... he talks over you, he yells, he kind of does this whole WWE thing that's just like really annoying to talk to. But I mean, I don't mind. He doesn't, and whenever you make a good point, he'll just be like, he'll go to the next thing and then he'll just like try to start yelling again and try to not let you prove a point. He's just really like, you know, he doesn't know how to have a discussion.
Okay.
do you think he's happy with his relationship?
I think now, no. I don't think so. I think he didn't know a lot of things that I know, and I know a lot of things that I don't put out there. That how many guys that she's done? Like it's some crazy shit that she's a crazy girl. Like I don't know. I mean, he might be happy, but I don't know. I think he's going to get divorced. He's going to get half his money taken in a couple of years.
Jesus.
But that, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not here to personally attack anybody, but I do think in my personal experience, I'll speak from my own personal experience. In my personal experience, women who have been with lots of guys, they struggle to stay dedicated to a guy.
Yeah. Especially the girl that has been with over celebrities-wise, probably 20, 30 celebrity men. And then regular guys, probably over 100. And maybe more that I know of that I haven't put out there. And like guys that there's guys that are in the city, like just like club guys that have dated her for like months on end, taking her to weddings. And like multiple groups, you know, she grew up in New York City, so she was just like that kind of normal socialite girl that dated every single club guy, stuff like that. He was actually presented, so the way he was presented to her is from a club guy. He's a promoter. And basically, like, you know, when you go out, and you guys probably have done this, like, you know, you go out with a promoter, they want to bring you chicks, and they do that kind of thing just to, like, look good. So he was actually brought her by a club promoter, and then he ended up marrying her. That's how they got together. That's the story.
There's a reason why men value innocence in women, and I think the innocence it's very attractive to us instinctually, and I think there's a bunch of reasons for it, but also one of the reasons for it is because we understand that psychological damage affects everybody, and breakups are psychologically damaging, and as a man, you're supposed to have scars, and you're supposed to go through difficult things and have trials and tribulations and be a damaged person to be a good man. The best men have had hard lives, but I don't think the best women have had hard lives. I think a woman who's been through a bunch of trauma usually ends up struggling to some degree, and she doesn't manage to dedicate herself fully to the next relationship. And I mean, I'm not here to wish any harm on anyone. Like I said,
neither. I don't hope
I'm in a very interesting situation, but
yeah, of course. Yeah, and I don't wish they divorce, and I don't wish all these bad things on them. I mean, like that doesn't bother me. I was just putting facts out there. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really give two shits about the kid's life. I hope he goes on and whatever, you know, fuck it, does what he has to do. But you know, it's a fight at the end of the day. We're promoting a fight, and
yeah, when you're promoting a fight, all gloves are basically off. I mean, yeah, that's how fights are promoted, right?
Especially when it's two guys. I mean, one guy I never boxed, and the second guy never won a fight. So what are we gonna talk about? Our left and right hooks? Like, no one wants to hear about that shit.
When's the fight?
This would never been talked about. You know what I mean? So I had to make it interesting. So there's a reason that he picked me. I made trouble, I made drama, and I did it. And I'm making him a shit ton of money. So
you did it, bro.
Yeah.
You did it. It can't be denied. You did it. And as for the future and what it holds for him, I guess it's his decision. I guess he feels like he knows her in a way that other people don't know her. But we can only talk from our personal experiences. And I think that men as a whole, all across the planet, all men value or all men respect women who are extremely exclusive or have extreme.
What is a lot of, sorry to interrupt. What is considered for a girl a lot of bodies or a lot of, what would you guys consider a lot of?
What would you say, Adin, first?
I think it depends on the age. Is that a good?
Okay.
Okay, so like I would say my age, under.
Well, she's 31. She's 31. So you're going at her age. If you're going to marry a 31.
Okay, so if I was 30 years old nowadays, if I'm 30 years old and I'm not specifically Logan, I'm not gonna personally attack Logan or anything like that or Nina.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm just saying if I was 30 years old and I'm going for another 30-year-old, I mean, dude, Andrew, these girls lie all the time about their bodies. You never fucking know. You can't tell.
Yeah.
So
let's be honest. If you go to a club and you fuck a girl on the first night, do you really think you're the special one that you exactly? So you know they're doing it all the time.
what's the average girl? Would you guys say?
Aiden, I'm going to disagree with you there because I know what you're saying. They do lie. But I also think you can tell. I think that it's easy. It's easy to get like deluded, and it's easy to get led down the garden path, which is an English expression. It's easy to get led by a girl, and she can lie to you, and you can fall for the tricks. But I do think that part of you knows you're being lied to, and you just like to believe in the delusion. I think you can tell for some reason. I don't know why. I've always been able to tell. I can just tell. I have like spider senses. I'm just like
Andrew. Can you tell by the way she acts, how she treats herself, how the way her behavior is, or do you tell by like? If she, in the bedroom, if she like knows what she's doing extra well, like how do you really tell her? Like, what's the way to tell her?
I think it can be a combination of things, but you know what's actually what can be most scary? I think that's a trap a lot of men fall for. Is that sometimes the coolest chicks are the ones who have done so much shit that they almost seem like, oh, they're really cool and down to earth and they're really funny and nothing really bothers them and they're relaxed. But I think that's almost like part of them has died. I'll be honest, if you meet a girl and you're a second or third man, she's going to be a bit crazy over you. She's going to be obsessive over you. And
I agree.
She's going to be a bit, if you get these girls who are just super cool, when I meet a girl and she's super like down to earth, super cool, and she's like, yeah, whatever, yeah, no problem. They can be the funnest ones to hang around with, but secretly like, nah, she's a little bit too cool.
So what's a lot of bodies for?
I've always been able to tell, and in my personal experience and the people I know around me, etc., I think there's definitely a link. You can probably pull up a study on this somewhere. I think that the less sexual partners a person's had, the more likely they are to stay loyal to their husband. I think that's pretty well studied.
Okay, fair enough. But what is a lot of bodies nowadays? I think when you were 30, bro.
Also too, like if we're out in Miami, right? I mean, obviously might be out on haram for you, but like if I'm out and I'm in Miami and that girl approaches me and I probably would do it that night. Or we're talking about marriage, it's a totally different thing.
Fair enough. I agree. There's a difference between a hoe and a queen. I agree with you guys fully on that.
Like if I'm out at 11 at 12 o'clock and she comes around and like, we're
she knows what's up. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Listen.
No, I know, yeah.
So, what you're saying is different.
Okay, so can you guys tell me what's the average body count? Not the average, but what's the average body count for a girl that's 20 and 30?
I can tell from what I can do is I can give you a personal experience. If I were like, all right, so here's how I approach life, or I think how a lot of men approach life. I can't talk about myself right now because of my legal situation, but let's talk about how men approach life. I think there's a lot of men out there who understand there's a difference between fun girls and good girls.
Yes.
And I don't think that it's a problem if you don't get the two confused. I think if you get the two confused and you take a fun party girl and get convinced she's a good girl, I think you get wrecked.
That's your problem.
And I think also if you treat a good girl like a party girl, you can also get wrecked because you'll lose to good girls. So you have to be very perspicacious, understand what you're dealing with. If I was to marry a chick, I would never marry a woman who had been with more than 5 guys. Ever.
Andrew, can you convert?
I'm gonna hang around with a chick, party with a chick, whatever.
Andrew,
I don't think I'd even.
Andrew, can you convert a party girl from degeneracy to like a queen, or is that possible? Like whether it's
I don't know.
Whether it's religion or like, can you convert a party girl to a queen?
Well, why would you? I think you could if you have a strong enough frame and you're a high value enough man. But why would you want to do that?
That's true because it's like they already have the tendencies and shit, and like it's like
why would you want to?
Yeah,
genuine.
Yeah, it's true.
You always got to think too is like, do you think this girl would marry Logan if he wasn't Logan Paul? They have all this money and all this stuff. Like, do you think that he would still be with him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we weren't talking about that.
Think about that every single day. You know what I mean? Like, she probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, but so
like if he was some regular Joe Schmo and he still looked like Logan Paul, she wouldn't be married.
Okay, my generation, I just feel like is cooked, bro. I don't know, Andrew. Like.
The Western world's hard, G.
Yeah.
To find a wife in the West is hard.
Yeah, it's fucked, I think, now, bro. Like, Andrew, I'm gonna be honest, like, it's like cool now for girls to like listen to like this, yes, bitch, like that type of music, like, yeah, fuck them, my booty pink, my booty hole brown. Like, it's cool to like rap about like fucking guys and playing them and like fucking them and like stealing from them. I don't know. It's like a flex for girls to like, yeah, girl, be on your hot girl shit, period, sis. Like it's cool to like fuck guys and then like play them and shit. It's like girls rap about it. They like want to be like them and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's it. That's fun. So like that's why you look at Miami, right? Some of the most beautiful women in the world are in Miami, and Miami's amazing to party. You can party in Miami and have a bunch of fun with girls, but you're not going to find a wife in Miami.
It's impossible. It's not happening. But Andrew, you might be able to find a girl outside of Miami. Like that's not from Miami. Like in Florida specifically, like you could find someone outside the city.
So it depends what you're looking for. So me personally, and I talk from personal experience, if I marry a woman, I want to make sure that what we have is extremely exclusive. I want to make sure that I get to show her the world. I want to be her gateway to the world. I want to be the first person who puts her in a supercar, the first person who puts her on a nice jet, the first person who takes care of her. I want to be the first person to show her things. I want her to have done everything with some other dude first. Right. Why would I want that?
Yeah. That's so hard to find out too. In Miami, every girl's on a yacht. Every girl's on.
They're all getting fucked.
One girl. The next night, they were with another guy.
Right, and they want to be in the Dillon. They want to be in the section. They want to drink that 42. They want to be next to the signs. They want to be. They just want to be in the limelight, bro. That's why Andrew, we were talking earlier. It's not cool anymore to be involved in that shit, bro. It's like corny, cringe to me now. Like it's just.
It is. It's true, but wives do exist. They're hard to find, but we're not talking about. I mean, we're talking about Logan, but we're not talking about someone he's dating. We're talking about somebody he's dedicated his entire life and his fortune and his future to, and that's a big risk if they've had that much history. I mean, I don't know. I personally wouldn't do it. All my wives have been very few men, very few.
Yeah. At 31 years old, she has over 100 bodies. That's tough, and she's dated every single celebrity. Like,
by the way, you guys think Miami's bad? LA is twice as worse, Andrew. Twice.
Oh yeah. LA, New York, Miami. I mean, they're all the same.
Dillon, I don't even know how you live in New York anymore, man. It's so bad out there. I was asking the NPCs around Central Park or Washington Park about genders and these things, and these people are fucking brainwashed. It's really bad. It's super fucked up, man. You got to get out of there. I'm telling you, New York is horrible.
For me, though, I mean, like, if someone like the trans and whatever they do is. If they're happy, then I'm happy if they're happy. But like teaching kids and shit, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
Let's be honest. Let's cut the shit, right? We're living in a world now where me saying that female innocence is respected is enough for me to get demonized and them to put me in jail and attack me with the full fucking attack. They'll put me through lawfare. You're going through lawfare now, Dillon. They put me with lawfare criminal for saying that women's innocence is respected, but we know, all men intrinsically know that female innocence has always been respected. Promiscuous females have never been respected since the dawn of human time in any culture, in any religion, in any country. Even the West, only 50 years ago, promiscuity was massively frowned upon. I think that every single holy text, it doesn't matter what religion you are, speaks the same thing about how important it is to avoid female promiscuity. And there's a special bond between a man and a woman when she hasn't been with a bunch of other men. There's a special bond and it's tangible and you can feel it and you can see it. And I know it's hard in the Western world today, but if I get married, I mean, the white dress is supposed to mean virgin, G. Virgin's a bit extreme, perhaps, but a lot of women as well. I think a big problem that a lot of men make, they want to marry women or women want to get married, and the man is confused because he thinks she likes him. But she doesn't want to be a wife. She wants to get married. She wants to Instagram. She wants to flex. She wants to
the lifestyle.
She wants to dress.
Yep.
She wants the attention. She wants all of that. She doesn't want to dedicate herself to her man and be an actual wife. And in my experience, it's another thing that I find quite interesting. Sometimes the girls who have done the most heinous things with the worst histories are the ones who are the most obsessed with marriage because they want to wipe the slate clean. And they want to pretend that there's something they're not, and they want it all to be forgotten. So they're the ones that pushed for the marriage the hardest. No, marry me, marry me, marry me, marry me. And they'll hold off on sex and pretend to be a good girl and all this garbage. I want the wedding because they're trying to prove something to themselves because they feel inside themselves they've done some bad shit they shouldn't have done.
But they can't change, Andrew. They are who they are. At the end of the day, they're just trying to hide it. But they're always, that's...
She's getting up there in age, too. She's 31, so she's getting out of that prime of going out and doing all that shit, you know? Every guy's going to find the newest 19, 20-year-old and bring them on their yachts, not the 31-year-olds. There's a reason she's looking for marriage. But Candace Owens put it in a good way where she was saying how women think when they're younger it's cool to go party and do all this shit and take pictures of all the celebrities and fuck every athlete. But then when they realize that every guy basically is just going to go for the younger girl and you're getting older and the guys don't want to marry that, you know? So she put it like perfectly. And like she's a woman and she like, you know, she has great values and stuff like that. And she explained it perfectly. But yeah, no, exactly.
Well, yeah, and Candace is an amazing woman. I know her very well. I know her husband very well as well. They're amazing people. But that's the reason society is so broken, because we're living through a history now. We're living through a version of reality. This is the first time in human history where women could be so openly promiscuous. None of us know how to handle it. Women don't know how to handle it.
Money from it, so they're like, okay, why not? Like, I'm 20 years old. I can put my OnlyFans and make $500K a year. But then when they get older, they're like, holy shit. Now I got to deal with all this repercussions of me putting all my body out there. But that's, I don't know, I'm not a woman, but you know.
Okay, right? Because men don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to find wives. And women don't know how to handle it. I don't think women can deal with the psychological trauma of being with a bunch of men and nearly as well as they pretend they do. They can pretend they don't mind.
Chat,
but I
where's
think
the
when
best
they're
place
alone
to
in
meet a
bed
girl,
in the
chat?
deep dark night, they regret a lot of the things they've done. And it's the first time we're in history now where women are living out these lives and they're being encouraged by the Matrix. And nobody, either male or female, truly knows how to handle this unique scenario we're in. The happiest women I know have been with very few men or one man or two men in their entire life. The happiest women I know, happily married, happy. So I don't know. I mean, perhaps I'm a terrible person. Perhaps I'm this big evil misogynist like they say I am. But I think that a woman is happier when she keeps herself exclusive.
You have the balls to say whatever a man wants to say, but doesn't want to say because they don't want girls to switch on them. Because like ever since I started coming out with this, every girl unfollowed me. It's like, so it's hard. I think you just say what men actually want to say, but don't want to say. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we respect innocence, because it's innocence that encourages us to protect and provide. We respect that innocence in a woman. I certainly do. And I've done podcasts before where they're like, oh, yeah, I've done like Fresh and Fit and blah, blah, blah. And the girls are like, oh, yeah, but I'm great in bed. Like, I don't want you to be good in bed. I want you to be innocent and pure. I want you to have a pure heart. I don't give a shit about how much practice you've had on dick. I don't want to hear that. That's not interesting.
But it's a weird dynamic. But I mean, I guess fuck him, bro. It's a fight, and he shouldn't be doing all this suing shit with all this bullshit. It's just like, we're just promoting. But I guess she can't handle it. She follows it.
Like I said, I've had my disagreements. with Logan. I've had whatever. He hated me, and he was fully Matrix when I got canceled, and blah blah. I don't know the dude, but yeah, I agree with you there. When it comes to fight promotion, all gloves are off. Like, I don't think there should be lawsuits involved. You should be able to say whatever it takes to get views, and I think you've done a fantastic job. And you're right, he owes you a favor to a degree, because you've certainly brought attention to the fight. That can't be denied.
It's true.
And
he's very egotistical, from what I heard. I don't know him personally, but I heard that whoever's around him, if they don't agree with what he does, he agrees on, he kicks them out of their group and makes them sign NDAs where they can't talk about things. And so he's just an egotistical maniac, and he can't handle that. I'm making a narrative that he can't control, so he's trying to shut me up. Kind of like what you're going through, but you know what I mean? It's fucked up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the interesting thing isn't even the fight so much now. The interesting thing is across the next 5 to 10 years if they stay together or not, right? Because if they make it work, then nothing matters. But if they don't make it work,
yeah, exactly.
A lot of conversation.
That's what I was told too. I heard that too, Dillon. Someone had told me. They said Dillon won the fight if Logan and his wife don't make it. Like that. I mean, it's like I just, man. I look, Dillon. I'm gonna be honest though, bro. I just want to see you two just get. Wait, when is it? October. When is it?
14. 4 weeks, 4.5. Yeah, less than almost 4 weeks now.
You made
It's an easy fight. It's an easy fight. We should be fighting MMA with all this talk. It should be.
If it was MMA, you would win 100%. I told you. For the box.
He guaranteed me a rematch in MMA, but we'll see if he's not a man of his word, but fuck him.
I do think also, though, I want to say something. I know America is the most failed nation in the world, but there are a lot of women in the world, especially in other places, and especially in America as well. There's a lot of women who understand exactly what we're saying and understand that their purity is an asset and it should be protected at all costs. There are a lot of women who actually very much understand, for me to be respected, I need to make sure that I'm not promiscuous. And I think even women intrinsically understand this. If you see a woman insult another woman, what do they call them? They call them a slut. It's the first insult.
That's true. That's true. It's the first.
The girls that get mad are the ones that are already done it, that are in New York City, that were 23, 24, and all the guys had cocaine at 6 a.m, and they were doing it their whole lives, and now they get older and they stop. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, fuck, what do? I can't go against this because everybody already knows I've done it. So then they're like, oh, fuck these guys, are misogynists, and this whole thing. And it's like, I'm not misogynist. I love girls. I said this. I love sluts. I don't know. It's a weird dynamic how I got into this whole thing, because I'm not the big misogynist guy, but
Misogyny is another weapon. Is another word they've weaponized, and they just throw it around. It's not.
Now I'm like,
it's not misogynistic to have an opinion, and it's not misogynistic to have a standard. For me to wake up and say, I want a wife who has been exclusive or has been very hard to access, that doesn't make me a bad person. For the same reason a woman's allowed to say, I want a man who can buy me lunch. It's just a standard, and we're allowed to have standards. They've attacked masculinity to such a point now where if you have any kind of standard as an individual, they're going to call you a misogynist. You're not allowed to hold women accountable for anything. Their own actions, what they've done, their past, their history. No, you're not allowed to have an opinion on it, or they're going to call you misogynistic, which is obviously insane. And that's what they're going to do. So that's the obvious weapon they're going to attack you with.
Nobody was trying to attack me. He's like, you banged this many girls, this and that. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say to him. I'm like, are you really going down this route right now? Like, you're trying to say, I'm like, I don't know what he was trying to say. He was like, I'm a male slut. And like, how when a guy does it, it's so cool. But when a girl does it, it's not cool. And I was like, okay, I don't know what point you're trying to prove. But he's just like, I don't know. He's just like trying to put in his whole head, and he's trying to save himself. And he you know, he can't handle it. He can't handle it. He's not a fighter. And I never, you know, I realized that before. I thought he was an entertainer, and I thought that I could, you know, have a dance partner that's we're selling a fight. And we both do have bad blood. But he's not a fighter. He can't handle like all this, like, you know. He just can't handle the fight game. He's not built for the fight game. He's built for the WWE. So that's why he's trying to look for a way out now, I think. He's not a good fighter. He's a singular shot fighter. He's going to gas out. He's on steroids. He's EPO. I don't know what he's on. He's on something. He's going to gas out, and I'm going to beat the shit out of him. So I'm going to beat the shit out of him, and then I'm going to beat the case, and then I'm going to get the best comeback ever. And then we rematch in MMA, and then I strangle him unconscious in 20 seconds. So, I mean, that's how this is all going to go. You fight MMA, right, Andrew, or not?
Yeah, I've had 4 professional MMA fights. They're on YouTube somewhere. I'll retweet them. I fought MMA and I fought K1 primarily, so I'll put them up. But
did you still train jiu-jitsu or no?
Nah, I was never much of a grappler, bro. I just tried to punch and kick people, and I could sprawl and, you know, like get up, and I could do the basics. I knew a few things, but I was never much of a grappler. But I'll retweet them actually now. You just remind me.
So when you fought, did you train MMA?
Is the stream good or bad? Why are y'all saying F? Hello?
Oh yeah, like I'm at the height of my career.
I'm 36
now, so I was fighting maybe 10, 11 years ago, and even MMA wasn't what it is now 10 or 11 years ago, or 12, 13 years ago. It was different.
Where were you training?
I was a K1 fighter, and I trained in London in a gym called Storm, but I needed to pay the bills, bro, and fighting doesn't pay that much. If I got offered $10,000 MMA fight, bro, I took it. I just fall. Fighters fight.
And everything.
So it's funny you guys talk about I'm like a Jake Paul. I'm like a striker.
Adin.
I don't get that. Well, yeah, Adin, was that the first time you ever grappled someone?
With you, yeah.
That was the first time ever?
Yeah.
So what do you think? So like boxing and then grappling, what do you think is better?
MMA 100% is way better than boxing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm talking about just in general. Just like, isn't it crazy that you could control someone on the ground like that?
Yeah, MMA. I think the better sport to master is MMA 100%.
I'm not trying to go at you guys here. I know you're a kickboxer, so.
No, bro, it's.
But
isn't
different game. Isn't kickboxing a form of MMA though?
It's a martial art. So MMA is everything.
MMA is everything.
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, so like grappling would be like jiu-jitsu. So MMA is jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, everything mixed into one. Any martial art.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's actually this whole situation is very interesting because it's an interesting social commentary where you're being demonized for highlighting whatever, and obviously he has to defend his fiance.
And also, I'm promoting a fight. Like these girls.
You're promoting a fight, and I think that a lot of men, whether they admit it or not, or whether they're too cowardly to admit it, I think if you were to ask the average man, do you want a woman who's been with a lot of guys? I think the average man would say absolutely not. I think it's very important for men to actually know that the woman they have has had a very exclusive sexual history, because it's very difficult to feel special otherwise. And they'll say that's down to insecurity. They'll attack our securities, but it's not about that. It's nothing to do with insecurity. I think it's just innate and it's evolutionary, and we've always been that way. And I think societies have always been built that way. And there's a lot of good girls out there that know that very well. Like, I certainly wouldn't. If I met a woman and she was perfect in every way, but she had a large sexual history, there's 0% chance I would marry her. I'll make that very clear.
So how would you say, like, okay, like me and Adin, right? Like, okay, I know Adin, you bang, like, some porn stars and me, and I bang girls like that too. Now, who's in the wrong here? Like, it's like we like that stuff, but like we don't want to marry that. So it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you know what I'm talking about. Eden, like yeah, it's like who's in the wrong, you know?
No, men are absolutely and utterly hypocritical. There's no doubt about it. Like, we love the whole idea of that degeneracy when it suits us, but then when we get a woman we really care about, there's nothing we find more repulsive.
That's
very interesting. We're completely hypocritical as a species and as a sex. There's no doubt about that. And we love
going to the club and seeing a girl with her, a big ass or something like that, and she's flirting with you. But then it's like, okay, like, obviously I'm not going to marry her, but yeah, I'll probably do it for the night. But it's hard for me to date. I only have one girlfriend because it's hard for me to commit to someone.
Why did you guys break up? If you don't mind me asking, you and your girlfriend.
It became like having a principle because we were long distance, and it felt like I was like checking in every day, and like she was calling in training camp, like calling me 5 times a day, making sure I wasn't doing anything, and like it was just it became like having an extra fucking, I don't know how to explain it. It was like having a principle. I hate being like monitored. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I hated it. And I found out at the end she was probably cheating on me too. So whatever.
I'm sorry, bro.
But then you know what? Like, maybe I'm lucky, right? But good women do exist, bro. Trust me. I don't want to. I know some very, very good women who are truly gorgeous, and they have extremely limited sexual history. Extreme.
Are they popular on social media, or they're just normal girls? Like,
probably normal.
Well, I think that everybody is
not normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? No, I know there's some that are, I guess, semi-popular, not crazy popular, but we're all a product of our environment, and the problem is with the Western world is that it's degenerate and it promotes degeneracy on purpose. Yeah. But there are many other places in the world or many other countries where it's not as degenerate and it's not promoted so heavily. I mean, I'll say here now, like a lot of people have worked out by now. I have a bunch of children. I have a bunch of daughters, and I'm going to make it very clear to them when they're old enough that they have to be very exclusive and very careful with who they sleep with and who they end up with. I love the idea of my daughters being with their second or third guy they're ever with in their entire life and marrying that person and having a family. And I think that's the most beautiful thing a woman can do. And I think the psychological damage that comes with lots of relationships, because whether you want it to be damage or not, it's going to be damage. There's no light without dark. Every single breakup does a degree of damage. I think women just don't have the stamina to keep falling in love properly again and again and again. I think after a few times, it just kind of dies. And that's it.
Damn, that's actually true.
That's a hard one to do with kids because I just had a son too, and it's like when do you get them on social media? When do you get them on all this stuff? Because like nowadays it's just so toxic, and I don't know. It's tough to be a parent too nowadays, to be honest.
There's one answer, my friend. Islam, God. God fixes all of this. When you have a religious family and a religious setup, and the whole family worships and pays attention to the teachings of a holy book, then a lot of problems are instantly solved. That's why we need God. It's amazing how easily things can be solved when you have a woman who fears God and a man who fears God, and they believe in the same religion and they're raising a religious family. You'd be amazed what can be fixed. The problem with the West is that there's no God anymore. Nothing matters in the West.
It's true.
Nothing matters, right? Oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. And people don't realize that it is actually a big deal, and it compounds over time and it damages people's psyche. There's nothing more beautiful than a man and a woman falling in love. Once a woman's been damaged to the point where she can't love a man properly, that's actually a very terrible thing. And like I said, it's personal experience, but I don't think women who have had a bunch of experiences can truly pair bond. Not the same. And I'm going to get attacked for this endlessly, but that's just what I believe. It's my experience of life.
It's true. It's not even fuck being attacked. That's true.
What do you do now, Ada? How are you looking for a girl? What do you do?
Staying to myself, bro. I have a lot of work on. I want to be the best version of myself before I go out there and find the one. I don't really think it's fucking hoes and shit, and you know what I'm saying? That shit's not worth it to me anymore. It's not fun. It's corny to me because when
you're very lucky that you found that out at a young age. I mean, because you're younger than me, so I fell into that like party lifestyle, drinking and fucking bitches, and it's all a waste of time.
It gets old so quick, dude.
I should have been in the gym. I should have been sleeping early, but I did fall into that. Now it fucking gets you, because especially when you come from Andrew understands as a kickboxer. Like a jiu-jitsu guy, we make no money. We're not, we don't get that much girls and this and that. And then all of a sudden, when you get a little popularity, and then you go out, everything's free, and there's a bunch of girls, you fall into that lifestyle and stuff. And then you realize, now that I'm older, I realize, what the fuck was I doing? I should have been fucking, sleeping early, waking up, going back to the gym. But I did fall into that lifestyle for a little bit. But you're young, and I'm happy that you figured that out. That all this shit doesn't mean nothing.
Thank you, bro.
You should be working on your career.
I think going to a club. drinking, fucking soulless whores. It's just like, what's the point? What's the point of doing that? I'm not gonna find love at a club. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? We all know why girls are in the club. We all know why guys are in the club, right? They're there to drink, get fucked up, and fuck. So I don't really want to do that anymore. I'd rather stream. I'd rather do something that actually brings me something out of it. You know, it's super easy, bro, to go do that. It's just super easy to fall down that degenerate path, and I'd really prefer to stay
I know
out.
it is.
Yeah, so
and that's what I told you when we were grappling. I said, no more lean. You can't be doing that shit, bro. It's not good for you.
I agree, bro. I haven't done it in a while, so yeah.
I'm happy for you. That's good.
Thank you. I'm actually, I haven't drank in a while either. I really want to stop. The last time I drank was on my stream. I don't even want to drink, bro. I don't even want to put anything into my body. It's
7 months sober now, too. I went through a tough time of drinking. I'm 7 months sober now. My dad was alcoholic and everything, so it was just going down a bad path, so I cut it up.
It's good to detox, bro. Just have your body only have good things in it. Our bodies are temple, you know? So I'm learning, bro.
You know how it is. We have a couple of drinks, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, where are we going tonight? You know, and then all of a sudden it just turns into, you know, a fucking spiraling, you know, shit. And then the next day you feel like shit. Then you train like shit. So.
And what does that do? It makes your mind shitty. It makes your motivation. You lose discipline. You lose track on things. You start to treat people like shit because it kind of brings out the worst in you. So
that's I've ever heard you talk.
What'd you say?
It's like, because Andrew, this is the best I ever heard you talk.
When I hear Andrew speak some real shit, it brings out the best in me.
Bro. No, it's awesome. I like that.
They try to.
You have so many kids that look up to you, bro. You got, you know, that's good message that you're putting,
they try to cancel Andrew by deleting. They deleted one of my most viral TikToks. Me and Andrew, his face is banned on TikTok. We always see TikTok. We all see Andrew on our TikTok feeds. We don't see him anymore. So when I hear Andrew speak,
I'll be honest. In the beginning, when I saw Andrew stuff, because it would come up on my TikTok, I would see some of the other stuff, and like, I was like, oh, I don't know, this guy. I think I might have called him out to MMA or something. But then I actually started to listen to him talking and like watching his full-length videos, and I actually respect him a lot, what he says and his message and stuff. I can admit to, you know, maybe jumping the gun on you a little bit early, Andrew.
That's life, friend. It happens. That's life. It happens. But yeah, and
I think a lot of people are with you are like that too. Like they see some clips or something, they're like, oh, who's this guy? And then, but if you actually study and look at the stuff or the message that you're putting across to young men, I think it's actually great. You know, be in the gym, don't be in the club, fucking be training, doing this, and you know, make something for yourself. I think it's actually great.
Good, chat? Why is it effing? Hello?
Like, the stuff that he says is what I want to teach myself.
Yeah, personal excellence is the only answer. And the personal excellence is the answer also to even the thing we were just discussing. If you become an excellent man, because I do think in a healthy relationship, I think that to a degree, the woman mirrors her man. And if you're a good moral man of good moral standing and you have a good frame and she respects you, then she's going to usually bend to your values. And that's not forced. That's just she has respect for you as a man and you act a certain way and she acts a certain way, and it fixes a lot of the problems. There's always different pressure sources, right? If you're not a particularly moral man or you're not a particularly brilliant man and she doesn't look up to you and respect you and her friends are trying to convince her to do bad things, she's going to go and do bad things. But if she looks at you and goes, no, I trust this man with my life, I trust this man to guide me and teach me, then he doesn't act that way, I'm not going to act that way. And in my experience, I've been fine. Like I've been very fortunate in relationships. I have fantastic relationships now. I've always had good relationships, and good women do exist. But when you get them, you just have to identify the good ones and treat them like good ones and make it, you know, worth their while also. And I don't think the world's completely broken, but certainly places like America are the tip of the spear in regards to degeneracy. It's difficult, man. It's not easy, especially for so many reasons. The legal system and the way everything's set up, and it's, I don't know, the West is scary to me. It's just easy to get wrecked.
It's hard to fault the girl, though, because if a girl has nothing going on for her and she's a fucking hot 10 out of 10 girl, and then it's like some guy's like, hey, come here, I'll pay for this, I'll do this. It's like, sometimes it's hard to even blame them for it. You know what I mean? Like, if they have no talent or something and they're like, oh, they're just really hot, and then they all of a sudden they're doing everything they could do in this whole world, it's hard to blame them. I mean, it's hard to blame them, but, you know, it bites you in the ass later on when you want to find a, like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, become the fucking moral ground of fucking, you know, girls or anything like that. I never tried to get into this, but it is hard for girls. I gotta say, I don't know. It is hard.
Well, it's difficult. It's right. It's uncharted territory we're in. It's certainly interesting times. I'm glad I've settled down now because I've got my 10 wives and I've settled down. I'm done. I don't talk to any new girls, so it is what it is.
Do you guys I was having a convo with my boy. We were talking. I said,
how do you make sure 10 women are happy? Isn't that hard?
I pull it off, bro. I'm top G. I've got a system. It's all right. I get it done.
Dude, one girl is hard enough. You got 10? Jesus Christ.
I do all right.
I was having a convo with my boy, and we were talking about the future of the United States. I genuinely believe one day there's going to be a transgender in an office. You guys think call me crazy now, but the world's getting so fucking crazy. Telling you, bro, the left is not the left anymore. It's gone down a track of straight mental disorder, and it's grooming of children. They're gonna assume
you think a trans as president is like a bad thing in what way? Like
it's promoting.
Like
it's in a way it's kind of making how do I say this, bro? Without it's just.
I'm just saying, if that person is older and they were like, okay, I really feel like I'm a girl. Like, who cares? Like, they're happy, you know. But if it's a kid and they're pushing on a kid, so I guess you're saying like because it shows a bad.
Just the kids, bro. Leave the kids out of the agendas. You disagree with what I'm saying. I just want kids.
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, if someone's like 30 something, like, who the fuck cares if he's a girl or a guy? I give no shit. You know what I mean? Like,
because they would put the motherfucker in office just because they're trying to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like they would, like you see the athletes of the year. You saw that with Budweiser. They're kind of just like, you know.
That was the worst fucking idea of all time.
Yeah, like the Target, the kids' clothing. Like they're just really trying to push it like in your fucking face. Yeah, like, you know. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I believe that God.
We need the thing is this. We need some objective reality on the planet. There has to be something that is solid lines. You can't, if everything becomes subjective and if nothing is a firm line, then it's very difficult to base a society or a rule set on how people should act or interact. So we've now destroyed basically every hard line that used to exist under the name of freedom and liberalism, and that's all fine. But that's one of the most basic lines, like man and woman. Like if you make everything subjective, then how is anything supposed to work? There has to be 1 + 1 = 2, and that's how it works to a degree. So everything is under attack, and I don't think that everything being under attack is for our own good. I know what you're saying, Dillon, about people's happiness. I completely get that. But also, if you're going to destroy all objective reality, if you're going to allow people to wake up and say the sky is green, and when it's blue, then how do you even have a functioning society anymore?
It won't work.
And the baseline of society is always going to be family, and there's always going to be children. That's what makes societies function. And even if you want to look at it from a very boring geopolitical standpoint, if you want to look at it and extrapolate it out across geopolitics, most of the Western world, we don't even reproduce enough to sustain our population levels. The reason we have to have this mass immigration is because we don't have enough children to even have a population. So you have countries where populations are expanding and exploding, like in Asia and India and Africa, they're exploding populations. Then in Europe, every single country is declining. We don't have enough children to even create people.
That's crazy.
You add in, it adds in because it's a bunch of different arguments. But if you add in just a purely boring argument of medical science is keeping people alive longer, we need a workforce who's going to pay taxes to keep these people on their pensions. There's not enough people being born. Why are they not born? Because men aren't men, women aren't women, people don't get married, no one has kids. What is a man? What is a woman? Women don't act like wives, men don't act like husbands. So it's like society at every level is broken. And how do you fix it? You only fix it when you come along with some law, some rules, and say, no, this is supposed to go this way. Up until very recently, it was pretty widely accepted that a man was supposed to be with a woman and we were supposed to have children. And now that's considered extremist. If I say I want a beautiful woman to have children with, I'm considered an extremist. I'm considered a bad person, which is insane because that's how we all got here. That's how you're here. That's how I'm here. Like it's crazy now.
No, go ahead, Andrew.
You need to have some degree of objective reality, and it's more dangerous when you're saying it to children, which don't understand what objective reality is. Yeah,
their minds are sponges.
It makes them very confused.
They believe in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. Like I said, the left now, the liberal, the Democrats now, it's all about spreading false agendas on the youth and converting their minds. It's kind of like they're literally spreading mental disorder. I believe that God made you for who you are. I believe that God put us on earth for a reason. I believe that I'm traditional, bro. Men can't get pregnant, Dillon. I know how you feel about that, but men can't get pregnant. Hold on. Men can't get pregnant. And hold on, Dillon, real quick. I know. I'm gonna let you speak, but God put us on here for a reason. Like your parents, they made you. You know what I'm saying by reproduction and stuff, which makes the population go. Last thing I'm gonna say is this: I just can't. Like, let me ask you a question. I can go change my gender now, but can I go change my skin? Can I? God made me who I am. Can I go be black? Can I become black? No, right? I can't trans race. So like,
all I meant is that if someone's happy, then that makes me happy. If I'm a 30-year-old, I mean, but the thing is like, yeah, I get what you're saying. And I would feel probably a certain different way if I had a daughter that was in a bathroom and some guy that was said that he's a girl and he's like, you know, obviously not, and comes into the bathroom, like, I don't know how I can handle that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if someone is happy, then it doesn't bother me. It's just like if I have a gay friend and he's gay, I'm not gonna.
I get what you're saying.
I'm not gay, but like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But I get where you guys are coming from too. Obviously,
I just think God made His children the way they are, and they should be proud. They should be they should take it and go with it, right? Like you're here.
Here's the question. If women have always been the gatekeepers to the sexual marketplace. Men, we chase whatever, let's say men chase whatever they can get and women say yes or no. Women are the ones who have the final say and they give the yes or the no. They're the gatekeepers, right? Imagine tomorrow, every single woman woke up and said, I won't have sex before marriage. Now, I'm not advocating that. That's extreme, but I'm going to an extreme to prove a point. Imagine every woman did that and every man had to act well enough and good enough to get a woman to marry him to get sexual access. Imagine how society would change. Would men still be jackasses or would men up their game? Would men be more loyal, more diligent, more hardworking? Would men be better men?
Definitely. It would make them better men for sure.
It's just like if you fuck a girl on the first night, you don't have to put any effort. But if a girl makes you wait a month, you're putting in, you know, like dates, you're getting her flowers, you're doing the whole thing. So it's like, 100% men would up their game. And you would learn to love a girl better because, like, if you fuck her the first night, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, well, this girl definitely done this with 1,000 guys. But like when you see a girl, a good girl, sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. So if women are the gatekeepers to the sexual marketplace, and to a degree, the higher their standards are, the better men will be as a whole. And then the relationships are more likely to last, and the children are less likely to be from a broken home, and a lot of the crime will be fixed, and the single parents will be fixed, and the need for government handouts will be fixed. And it's amazing how many things can extrapolate from such a simple thing as women waking up and saying, no, I deserve a man who really takes care of me and actually loves me before I give him access to my body. You can fix all of society with that basic point. So it's interesting where we talk about female promiscuity and we say, oh, it's no big deal and girls do this, girls do that. But it actually extrapolates out across all of society. And there's a massive price to pay, which we're now learning because this is new uncharted territory. And we're now learning it. I talk about Europe exclusively. I can't name the stats on America, I'm not sure. But Europe exclusively, we're not even reproducing and having children because people don't want to get married and women ain't worth sticking with and it's all just a big mess. Well, if your country can't even repopulate itself, then what do you even have? You don't even have a country anymore. So then you have to import people from the other side of the world, which is fine. Diversity is great. But then you're losing your own country by extension now. So it's kind of crazy. It's super interesting what's happening in the world today. There's so many countries, and it's not just the West. Actually, I think Japan and China have the same problem. But it's really interesting.
China's like overpopulated, right? China's like overpopulated.
Yeah, China's overpopulated. Japan has huge birth weight problems.
Andrew, in China, is it true you're only limited to having like two kids? Yeah.
That was before. I don't think anymore. That was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super interesting. So and I don't have a solution to any of it. I'm just sitting here making comments. I'm just observing the situation. But I do think it is
into this with the whole fight thing. Now I'm becoming like part of this whole thing. Everybody's coming to me I'm in a fight here. But yeah, like everybody's coming to me and they're like, you're changing the world. Now every girl is scared to post pictures with guys because what you did to Logan, like you're scared of, and like you're gonna be like a case study and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, so like, I didn't mean it to go this way, but it is what it is, I guess.
That's bullshit. But it's crazy that they're going to come at you for that. But that's just externalizing their own personal decisions, and a lot of people do that. They don't want to take any accountability. But I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old and boring. But when I see, if I meet a young woman and she's young and she wants to only be with me and she's talking about a family pretty early and her primary goal is to have children, I find that beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing.
What's it called? I don't know. It's a personal question. How old were you when you had your first kid? Because I just turned 30. I just had my first one, so I'm like a little bit, it's like new territory. It's kind of scary because you still feel like I feel like I still have the same mindset as a young kid. So now I'm trying to, mature and, be a good man for my son, because I still have that in me where it's like I'm crazy sometimes, But I was just asking.
There's nothing more beautiful than children, and I was around your age as well, and I think it's one of the most beautiful journeys any man can go down, and woman too. And you also learn a lot about the gender roles when the kid arrives. I think that women have fantastic superpowers when it comes to children. They have a patience that
unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Girls are fucking savages, man.
If you got your next children, one of you guys should name your son Adin. That'd be kind of cool.
Probably not, but yeah. Anyway, no. No, I think you could be tough, Adin. I think you just need you just need to train more, man. You need to, I don't know how to explain it. You're very smart and you're so talented, bro. If you start training, I feel like you'd be a fucking animal because you put your mind to something. I think you can do it.
100%.
You just you don't have discipline, bro. You're inconsistent.
Nah, one thing, Andrew. One thing I always say, I look back at some of these things we talk about. Money really is an amplifier, bro. And I think I got I'm not saying that it's bad that I got rich so early in my life, but I think Andrew, people are gonna be like, oh, what the fuck, boo-hoo. But you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's really an amplifier, right? So when you have so much money and you don't know what to do with it, it really is an amplifier. I'm naturally a lazy person and not disciplined, right? So it really amplifies the fuck out of that. And so it's been, I'm not gonna sit here and cop out an excuse, but it definitely,
What's that quote? It was a boxer that said it's hard to get up in the morning and on silk sheets and get punched in the face every day. It's definitely not easy, but then it makes you tougher because you're doing it. Plus, you have the money. You know what I mean? So it makes you mentally strong. So when you have no one in the morning to go wake you up and run on 5 a.m. when you're worth, I don't know how much you're worth, but it just makes you actually tougher. Yeah. So if you look at it that way, then maybe you have a gift that other people don't have because there's a lot of rich, lazy people out there that'll never work hard, do other things that other people won't do, Sometimes when I'm working out and I look out the window and I see people at the pool drinking all day, they'll never understand obviously they understand hard work, but training and dedicating your life to something and, doing a bunch of hard things.
That's why I don't believe in inheritance. I believe that, not that I don't believe in it, because I know a lot of people that their fathers are very rich and they grow up really good. It's very rare though. There's many celebrities that have children and their children are super fucked up because they're growing up, they hear it's easy, here, have this, have that, have this, have that, right, throughout their whole life. So it's super easy to cripple your child early and their brain is like a sponge. So I kind of believe that every single child, I mean, you guys are fathers, so I'm not a father, so I don't really know, but is it hard for you guys? I mean, I feel like you guys, if you guys understand that you really can't just give your child everything and you can't really cripple them, I mean, you guys probably, like I said, you guys are fathers. I'm not a father, so I can't really speak on that. But
well, mine's only a couple weeks old, so it's a little bit hard to tell. But I'm just gonna make sure he's happy, and I wouldn't spoil him, but I definitely would. If he wanted to go get a jiu-jitsu membership, I would pay for it, or in the right avenues. I think giving money to him would be the right thing. Because when my mom got me a membership that I couldn't afford when I was 15, and I got a jiu-jitsu membership, I fell in love with it. And
right.
I don't know, maybe putting him towards the right path of, things that are good for him, maybe. I don't know. I never thought about it because mine's only a couple weeks old, but it's hard not to spoil your kid because you want to give them everything you didn't have.
Right.
So that's something I got to figure out as a man too.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, we've got interesting life paths ahead of us, interesting journeys. We'll have to see how the world works, see how it changes, but fighting fixes a lot of problems because you can't, it doesn't matter how rich a kid is. There's been some famous boxers who were rich. There's been a couple of them, but, fighting has to be earned. It always has to be earned. And you have a son that's fantastic. And as long as he's in the gym, he's going to learn that daddy's money can't save him when he's getting his ass kicked. So he either has to train and win or not train and lose.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do with my little brother. Whenever he comes over, I make sure he trains. He doesn't know what he's doing, but I'm like, you have to be there. If you come over to my house, you have to come spar. You have to train, and then he makes him a better person because he realizes okay, this is different, So I definitely.
Chad, do you guys have kids? Yes or no?
The one thing is too, it's if you force them to train, they don't like it. It's hard to kind of see how much you want to push them towards it. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I have to think about.
I look forward to coming over to the U.S. when I can.
Really?
And I look forward to doing these podcasts that I used to do with all these Miami chicks, et cetera, et cetera. But often when I do these podcasts, I usually get through to them. Towards the end, they usually end up agreeing with most of the things I say. I think it's just about delivering it in a way that make them understand it. And the world is an interesting place, but there's good people, there's bad people, there's extremes on both sides. But all in all, I think it'll work out.
Andrew, I'm not even trying to be weird, but you could stay with me if you decide to come to Miami.
Should I stay with you, Adin?
Yeah, no, I promise you can do whatever you want. I'll even get out of my room if you want to bring your crew over. I'll sleep on the couch. I don't care.
All right, we'll see.
But look, fellas.
You have a big house?
No.
It just looks like you're in like one of those like I don't know like rooms. It's like small.
It's not.
I don't want to use the word there, but
it's not the best and biggest. I should really upgrade. We'll see. If Andrew's serious about coming, maybe I'll rent an Airbnb on the water and we'll get a crazy fucking multi-million-dollar crib.
Then you guys spar with us every day. I'll come to Miami. We'll all spar, us three.
Easy. We'll spar every day. We wake up, get a chef. The chef cooks food. We hit a yacht. Just on some like real like we can even lift weights on the yacht. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
That's the real life right there. Working out, training all day in the sun. That's some fun shit.
And making money.
You know what? That's actually truthfully all there is to life. You know what's funny? I was on house arrest for 5 months, right? And this last 2 months I've been off house arrest. And on the 5 months I was on house arrest, I was living with my coach and 5 or 6 old gym friends. And we'd wake up, we'd train all day, we'd eat right, we'd chill in the night, we'd sit around talking. And then I got off house arrest and I haven't changed my routine at all. That's all life is. That's the best. The best life can be having some guys around you you've known for a long time who you trust, train hard, laugh, joke. That's more fun than parties and bullshit anyway. I'm still on house arrest, even though I'm free. I don't even leave my house. I just want to train and chill and work and look after the people I love. And that's what life's all about. So I look forward to that scenario, Adin. I look forward to you showing us your bench press record and showing us how strong you really are, putting us all in our place.
I got you, bro. Hey, I'll tell you what. I really do got you this time. Actions gonna speak loud words, so we'll see.
All right. To end it though, so who are you guys picking in the fight, me or Logan?
Andrew, go ahead.
You know what?
You can be honest. Listen, one thing about me, I can take criticism. I'm not like Logan, so you can say how you feel.
I think the pressure's on Logan.
Yeah.
And you will know better than me how well he deals with pressure, but it feels like to me the pressure's on him. He has a lot to try and rectify. So if you think he doesn't handle pressure, then that's going to be bad for him. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
I did this on purpose. Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. When he blew a kiss at his wife, Sugar Ray Leonard came out like a brawler and then lost to Roberto Duran. So what I'm doing is very tactical, People don't realize that. They don't know the fight game.
Bro, hey, and you know what? I can talk like I was fighting in my prime like a bit before the internet captured a lot of the things I said, luckily, because I said some shit that would have got me
wrong. No, bro, 30, 35, 36, you're still in your prime.
Well, I can still do it.
Yeah.
But I retired when I was 30. But I can still do it. But I'm saying that, like, the things you've done to promote this fight aren't even 1% of the shit that happens most of the time at fights and things that are said.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And now I'm dealing with fucking lawsuits. This bullshit, but whatever. I mean, so who do you have to pick if you had to say? You can say it.
Oh. I haven't seen Dillon. I haven't seen either of you train properly. I don't know. I think psychologically the pressure's on Logan. I'll say that. Okay. Psychologically the pressure's on him to perform.
Adin told me in person, Logan. Adin told me in person, Logan, but then I saw someone ask you on a bus and you said Logan was going to win.
No. I said if it's boxing, it's hard to say. It's favored that Logan's going to win. If this was MMA, it'd be a walk.
What's the favorite to him to win, though? Because he's never won a fight.
I'm saying if this was MMA, it'd be a walk in the park for you. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a walk in the park. But I just, it's boxing. You're not a boxer. But you're strong. You know what I'm saying? You know how to hit, right? So, what was this head shit you were doing? You were banging your head into something? What the fuck was that?
It's because in the sauna, like Mike Perry and them were like they were hitting their fists and like hardening their fists. I was just hardening my forehead. And then he copied that.
Does it actually work?
Probably not, but I got a hard head and I'm very hard to knock out. So he's gonna find out.
All right, well we'll see, and we'll see.
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
Who? You know what? Because I'm a sports gambler. I'm gonna bet on you because I want to win more money. So look.
Keep all over a cop out. It's all good. I appreciate it.
Much love, Dillon.
This is awesome. Nice to meet you, Andrew. Finally. Good talking to you, man.
Bye-bye.